doing well. Sebastian Martinez is with me today. Sebastian is my senior drum major over at Joliet Central High School. And we had an e-learning assignment last week where the students had to suggest some music to me. And Sebastian had some great suggestions there and also kind of opened up a door of some music that I wanted to get into a little bit more. So Sebastian today is going to give us some suggestions on some Latin music that he really likes. And I think he's going to tell us where we can find that music as well. So go ahead, Sebastian.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for having me on your podcast. It's actually an honor to be part of your podcast. Um, I was actually honored to be able to talk some of my culture music, and where I actually came from. Um, Most of my peers, and you know that I grew up in Mexico, and I wanted to share some of the stuff that got me into music and what also inspired me. Um, I grew up with a bunch of uh, hardworking family. Not as much with music, but over there the schools they're heavily enforced with music. So like every week we have to dance this type of stuff, and one of the big ones was cumbia. Oh no, not cumbia, wapangos. And wapangos is if you've seen someone where the ladies are wearing dresses and they're spinning and they're doing all these kinds of dances with their dresses, that's basically wapango, and which leads me into my first song. This is Wapango by Jose Moncayo. Moncayo was uh, Spanish Mexican pianist. Um, he's also a percussionist. He's a music teacher, and he's known as the most important. And he represents the Mexican national music. Um, his music was based in basically Wapango, and it's basically a Mexican folk song, and it's a dance. That it's really known for Mexican wise, and I really think that people should listen to his type of music.
And when's about the first time that you can remember hearing this piece or music like this?
Um, I think his first song was actually was elementary, where we had to dance to his music, and then eventually his music developed into more electronically, but it all based into symphonic or philharmonic music.
And obviously, this is music that has stayed with you then for a while, so it's
Yeah,
had a pretty big effect
yeah.
on you. And you said you had to dance to this. Is this music also that somebody could sit down and listen to it, or do you think somebody that listened to this is eventually they're going to stand up and start trying to bust a move to this?
Yeah, it's that type of music where you listen to it and then you kind of start wobbling your head to it, and then that's when you eventually get the rhythm of the song and you kind of want to dance to it. Um, but if you listen to it, you will basically imagine Mexico or some kind of Latin area.
Absolutely. Cool. And all of this stuff too that we're suggesting or Sebastian is suggesting, we're going to put a link in the description of this so then people can find out, okay, where can I actually hear and move to this wonderful music. All right, on to the next one.
Oh yeah, the next one, um, you probably know this one, El Cumbanchero.
I
I don't know if you
might.
Uh, it's by Rafael Hernandez.
Okay.
Mr. Fizz actually played it for marching band when I was in 8th grade.
Okay,
Um,
now I remember that. Yeah, and we have that piece in the band room.
yeah, yeah. That's one of my favorite songs. It's basically from a guy. His name's Rafael Hernandez, and he's from Puerto Rico. And he got this inspiration from cumbia, and cumbia is a dance from Colombia, and it basically generated to where like all Latin America dances it, and it's pretty. It's I really heavily like recommend people listen to this song because there's a marching band version of it, but I really like the concert version because the conductor has to talk and like he's screaming and everything. Is pretty cool.
And what are the original instruments for the original version?
Uh, Basically, it's like an orchestra, so clarinet,
Okay.
violin, like all the normal instruments.
And where did you first hear this piece? Was this something also that came from your schooling, or is this maybe something you heard on the radio or at a concert?
From schooling, I first heard it from Mr. Fisk, the marching band version, and then I remember that same year, that summer, I traveled to California to go to the Roses Parade that
Okay.
they do every January 1st, and then there was another. It was a Japanese band playing this song, and then it just kind of stuck to me. I was kind of like impacted how other countries are playing our
Well,
Latin music.
and that's kind of wild that you said that, where you said this is a Puerto Rican song that you heard in California played by a Japanese band,
Yeah,
which is kind of fun to hear. Yes, like this whole music thing, it's important to everyone's culture, but also at the same time we can share it with different cultures and
yeah,
perform it as well. Cool.
yeah,
You got one more for us?
yeah. I'm pretty sure everybody knows this one, Danzón number 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's by Arturo Marquez. He's one of the most popular, and he's the most frequently performed orchestra. His pieces is performed most frequently, and he's one of. We're still lucky to have him, and he's still alive. So he's still composing songs.
And who's your favorite? Do you have a favorite performance of this or a recommended performance?
Oh, the Paris Philharmonic. They
Okay.
played it with a Mexican conductor. I forgot her name. I will give you the link so they can look at the video.
Absolutely. I know I've seen our Joliet Central band do it before I got there,
Mhm.
and I like watching the Gustavo Dudamel
Yeah.
version of that
Uh-huh.
one as well. What do you
Actually,
specifically like about that piece?
I like the movement aspect of it. I guess it's kind of like the Hispanic type of dance, and it gives me that kind of like Mexican or Latin aspect of it, and like I don't know, it's just pretty. It connects to me a lot.
So then one more question for you here. You gave us some great suggestions, and if people start listening to that music and they just go, "Oh my gosh, I need more of this." Where do you suggest people go, or who do you suggest people talk to find more music like that?
Um, it's pretty easy to find. Um, I would suggest um they could just probably search it up, Latin music, because there's many type of different Mexican music. But what's cool about the Hispanic is that it starts off as classical, but then it
Okay.
develops into other type of band. So like the link that I posted for the video of La Sonora Dinamita, that type of music originated from classical, and then
Hmm.
it's into this brass type of stuff.
Well, that's great. And I know what I'm going to listen to this afternoon now, too. This is very, very informative, very well prepared. And if I was grading this, which I'm not, you get an A.
Yeah,
How you hanging in there otherwise? You doing all right?
I'm pretty good. Kind of bummed out about my senior. How's it going? But
Yeah.
um, I'm holding over there. I'm on it. It's I'm blessed to be living, and that's and my family's healthy. That's it's the best I could have asked for.
Well, good. I'm glad everything's going well there. And yeah, as we keep saying, it sounds cliche, but we're all in this together. But I'm glad you're doing well, and we're going to kind of keep pushing forward with this. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you. Hope the family is good.
Oh, they're all good. They're loud. Take care, bud.
You too. Thank you.